Welcome to our deep dive into the most dangerous neighborhoods in Baltimore. Baltimore has been wrestling with a very public crime problem for quite some time, instead of just saying, "Oh, Baltimore." In that knowing way, we're going to shine a light on some of the neighborhoods facing the biggest challenges. In this video, we'll explore the crime rates and types of crimes that make these areas particularly hazardous. And look, I promise, no matter how bleak it gets, we will find a way to work in at least one Mara mating ritual comparison. Because honestly, have you seen those things? They're surprisingly adorable for rodents who look like they were designed by committee. First up, we're heading south of Baltimore's Inner Harbor to a place called Cherry Hill. Now you might think with a name like Cherry Hill, it'd be all, well, cherry blossoms and rolling hills. And while there are some lovely people and a strong sense of community there, it's also got one of the highest crime rates in Baltimore. We're talking about frequent incidents of violent crimes like shootings and assaults. See, Cherry Hill has struggled with poverty, unemployment, and a lack of resources for decades. And much like that lingering smell in your fridge that you just can't seem to pinpoint, these problems don't just magically disappear, they fester. Now, I'm not saying that everyone in Cherry Hill is out there committing crimes, but when people feel trapped, when they feel like they have no other options, well, sometimes they make desperate choices. It's a complex issue with no easy solutions. Next, we're moving on to West Baltimore, a place that's become sadly synonymous with crime. West Baltimore has been grappling with a high crime rate, particularly drug-related crimes and gang violence, for far too long. See, West Baltimore has been hit hard by poverty, unemployment, and a lack of opportunity. And when people feel hopeless, when they feel like they're stuck in a cycle of poverty and violence, it's hard to break free. It's like trying to escape from a pack of those adorable yet surprisingly vicious Patagonian Maras. Trust me, you don't want to be on the wrong side of those little guys. The problems facing West Baltimore are deeply rooted and incredibly complex. But that doesn't mean we should just ignore them. We need to talk about them, understand them, and most importantly, work towards solutions. Because ignoring the problem won't make it go away. Alright, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about Greenmount East. Now, unlike our previous stops, Greenmount East isn't exactly known for its violent crime. Don't get me wrong, it still exists. But the real problem here is property crime. We're talking burglaries, car thefts, you name it. It's like that feeling you get when you realize you left your phone in the back of a rideshare. Except, instead of losing your ability to mindlessly scroll through social media, you might lose your entire flat-screen TV. Now, some might argue that property crime isn't as serious as violent crime. But losing your possessions, feeling unsafe in your own home, it can be incredibly traumatic. The point is, property crime has a real impact on people's lives. So, while we're busy addressing the very real issue of violent crime in Baltimore, let's not forget about the victims of property crime. Now we're heading to Sandtown, Winchester, a neighborhood that's sadly become synonymous with the fight for social justice. Sandtown, Winchester has been plagued by violent crimes, including homicides and robberies, for far too long. And while there are many factors that contribute to this, including poverty, lack of opportunity, and systemic racism, it's important to remember that behind each statistic, there's a human story. These are mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters whose lives have been cut short or forever altered by violence. It's a tragedy, plain and simple. We need to keep talking about it, keep fighting for justice, and keep demanding better for communities like Sandtown, Winchester. And finally, we come to the Fairfield area, a neighborhood that, in many ways, embodies the severe challenges facing Baltimore as a whole. The Fairfield area has a high incidence of both violent and property crimes, making it one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Baltimore. The area is plagued by neglected infrastructure, abandoned buildings, and pervasive graffiti, reflecting the deep-rooted issues that the community faces daily. The residents struggle with limited access to essential services, and children often play in unsafe environments. While there are community organizations working to provide resources and support, the scale of the challenges often overwhelms these efforts. Residents are making efforts to reclaim their streets, but progress is slow and fraught with setbacks. The road ahead is long and difficult, and the community continues to face significant obstacles in their fight for change. Even the resilient Patagonian Maras, with their ability to survive in harsh environments, remind us that the struggle for survival is a constant battle. So there you have it, a glimpse into some of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Baltimore. These are real issues affecting real people, and we can't afford to ignore them. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more informative videos. And remember, even though the world can be a dark and confusing place, there's always hope.